Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am super excited because today we're going to be discussing how to get financing for your own food truck. So a lot of people ask me this question all the time. How can I get financing? Where do I start? All these questions are super common and very much valid. So what I'm going to do is explain everything in 5 simple steps. That way you know how you can get funding for your very first food truck. We're going to go right into it and start with step number 1, which is starting to find out what your timeline is going to be. When are you looking to launch? Whether that looks like 6 months from now, 2 years from now, figure out an exact timeline of when you want to launch your business and get started with your food truck. Once you've established when you would like to start your food truck business, then you want to go ahead and start shopping around. This is my favorite part because I love shopping, comparing and contrasting all quotes. So make sure when you're looking into the food truck industry and you're trying to find those builders that you do your research when it comes to their reputation. Look up Google reviews, speak to other people and communicate, see how their experience was, things like that. Use your community and start networking with other people so that you know that you're in the right hands. Step 3 is making a list of everything that you're going to need. Aside from just getting your food truck, you have to consider a lot of other expenses, such as getting a wrap done. Sometimes builders don't include this. You also have to consider a commissary, a generator, supplies, things like that. So make a list of everything that you think you're going to need and make sure that you calculate all these costs to incorporate everything on that loan. Step 4 is one of the most key components to all the 5 steps, and that is making sure your credit is on point. 9 times out of 10, most people don't have good credit or they don't have sufficient credit or sufficient income in order to get financing. And this is very common because a lot of people are just getting started. And most of the time, I would always suggest doing personal credit versus business credit. And the reason why is because most people that are getting started into this industry are just starting their LLC. And unfortunately, in order to get a business loan, you have to be in business for at least 2 years and you have to have sufficient business credit history. Otherwise, your only backbone is personal credit. So please don't get this misconception because a lot of people get confused with trying to get business credit funding. And usually you don't get that right away when you just started your LLC. Now, if you've been in business for at least 2 years and have sufficient business credit history, good for you. Sometimes even being in business for 1 year and having good business credit history that you've been building for that 1 year, SBA may approve you. However, sometimes if you do have good business credit history and you've been in business for at least 1 year with reporting income, good business credit, you can apply for SBA and see if they approve you. Sometimes it's better to just wait and rely on your personal credit if you have a certain deadline. Now, I'm not a credit expert, but I will say that the 2 main components that make up your entire credit score is number 1, paying on time, and number 2, debt utilization. Paying on time makes up 35% of your entire credit score model. So if you have a late payment, that's going to affect you by 40 to 75 points. Please make sure that if you're trying to get this loan, that you're paying on time consistently no matter what. And also, you don't want to maximize your credit cards once you get them. If you know that you have a $1,000 credit limit, try to utilize only 30% or less. Otherwise, lenders are going to see you as utilizing your credit irresponsibly and they may not want to give you the loan. For those of you who are looking to get started and want to utilize your personal credit, I highly recommend fixing it however you can to get it at least to a 670 and above. Finally, on to step number 5, and that is the best part, which is applying for funding. Once you've established your timeline and you've been focusing on your credit, focusing on your income and everything that you need, you can start applying for funding for the food truck of your dreams. So places I would get funding from are places such as credit unions or at least someone you have a great relationship with. So if you bank with Chase or you bank with Wells Fargo, whichever bank you bank with, and you have a good established relationship with them, then I would go with them. The reason why is because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, if you have good credit and you've been able to show your income, you'll get approved. A lot of this happens to a lot of my clients, so they prefer to go through a credit union or someone that they already bank with. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people always ask me, don't you offer financing through another company? The answer is yes. I, as a builder, and probably many other builders, use a company called ClickLease. Now, ClickLease is a third-party company that offers financing for food trucks, which is considered equipment leasing, but it is the last option in case you do not get approved through a credit union or through your bank. The only issue and downfall with this is that they only approve up to 25,000. And unless you're trying to get into a smoothie business, a beverage truck, or something that doesn't require an entire kitchen, this is not going to help you out, only because they only fund up to a certain amount, and sometimes food trucks may cost way more than that. The other downfall of using a third-party lending company is that the interest rates are off the roof. Most of the time, your payments look somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and interest rates can be anywhere between 20 to 29%, which is not feasible. So something that normally costs $40,000 to get completely built will end up costing you almost $60,000 after adding interest. And again, this is something that I never recommend anyone, because at the end of the day, it's what makes sense for you financially. And I would hate to have to pay for something that costs way more than what the value of it is. So your three options again are going through a credit union, going with someone that you bank with, or apply for third-party financing. I don't encourage it, but I always recommend that you start with the two sources first, because you get better interest rates and you'll probably get a lot better payments. Although this journey can be very overwhelming, this journey is not for everyone. It is not cheap, and sometimes it takes time. So have patience and be consistent with your plan and what you're trying to achieve. The main goal is focusing on how you can get there and what is stopping you from getting there. If you give yourself enough time, take advantage by doing things the right way. That way, in the end, you're not shooting yourself in the foot. If you want to learn more about how to get started with your food truck business, take advantage of the Valentine's food truck bundle that I have going on right now, where you'll get three things. You're going to get a personal credit course. You're going to get my food truck for starters seminar recap, which is about 2 to 3 hour event. And you're also going to get my food truck bundle, all for 25 bucks. We're going to be having this promotion going on all month long until the end of February. So take advantage by clicking the link below. That way you're able to take advantage of everything that you need in order to get started. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. That way in the future, you're able to get my notifications every single time I drop a new video. We get one video a week. So please comment below if you have any questions, and make sure to follow me on all platforms. That way, if you have any questions, you're able to learn all these things on all my platforms. See you next week.